If you are a headache sufferer, you know all too well the throbbing pain, the vision problems, and the nausea that comes right along with it. But did you know that there's a new FDA procedure that may bring us much needed relief? But first, you need to know the difference between a migraine and a headache. And the man to break it all down is Dr. Sean Bennington. He's with Cornerstone Integrated Healthcare. Joins us this morning to tell us more about both. Good morning.
Good morning. Great to be back.
It's always a pleasure to have you because we learn how to find some relief when it comes to pain. Let's talk numbers first. How many people are we talking about that suffer?
It's surprisingly a lot, especially in the U.S. right now. It's basically 1 out of every 10 Americans suffer from migraines. In fact, women, it's actually 1 out of every 6. And it's debilitating for a lot of them, where they can't function, they can't do their jobs, they have a hard time being a mom or even a wife. And so,
or even being an employee.
It's exactly.
So hard to be somewhere and you have this blurred vision or the nausea and that comes along with it. It's interesting to note that women, that we suffer a little bit more. Not sure as to why, but if you look at I guess the typical woman, there's a lot on her shoulders.
A lot of stress, yeah, and the woman tends to do it all herself. So she's carrying the weight of the family on her shoulders, and so for some reason they seem to be a little bit more prone than men.
Let's talk about the difference between migraines and headaches, tension headaches.
Sure. Migraines are going to be different than a tension headache, but tension headaches are going to be more common, so more people suffer from tension type headaches. So it's easier to actually define those first. Tension type headaches typically are going to involve tight musculature, especially in the back of the neck, and they can physically be palpated or felt, and you can feel the tension in there. There are trigger points oftentimes associated with those as well, and a lot of times what will happen is that a person's head is actually a part of this. So they're on the computer like this all day. So what happens is the head, it's heavy, it's 15 to 20 pounds. When that moves out like this, gravity then starts pulling down. You know those little women who are like this, yeah.
Well, you know, and to give you a visual, you think about if you bowl, that's a bowling ball.
It is a bowling ball, yep. And it's pulling straight down, so then these neck extensors have to engage to try to pull back, and that's why they get tight and they start to spasm.
And some of those things that come along with it is anxiety, depression, financial issues that can kind of weigh into the tension going on in your life. That's tension, Dr. Sean. Let's talk a little bit about migraine.
Yeah, migraines are completely different. Now, migraines aren't quite as common, but the effects are actually more debilitating. With a migraine, it's typically going to, patients typically going to have pain around the eyes, around the forehead, and or deep inside the skull. And the pain is going to be sharp, it's going to be throbbing, and unfortunately it's almost debilitating. Typically they're going to rate a pain somewhere between a 7, 8, 9, or 10 out of 10 on a 10-point scale.
I can raise my hand on feeling that pain. It hurts, but I think we mess it up, I should say, because we're not quite sure what it is, and so you kind of reach for the pain pills. But the good news is, and you brought us a demo here, the good news is there is relief. The FDA has approved this new procedure, and looking at this, if you don't like needles, brace yourself, because that's not really what this is. Let's talk about how this all works when it comes to pain relief.
Sure. So for years we've known the nerve involved with migraines. However, we just didn't know how to get to it, because the treatments we had tried before were often the side effects were far worse than the actual migraine. So for example, they tried taking a needle and going through the jaw and to try to get to this, it's called a sphenopalatine nerve. And that's what controls sensation to the cranium or to the head.
But this, again, this is not what you think. Okay, yeah. Look. Yeah. I saw this, I kind of backed up. But this goes in up your nose.
Exactly.
Okay.
And just so you know, I hate needles too. You would think that wouldn't be me, but I'm the clinic owner. I'm not the medical doctor. She got called away this morning, so I'm here to fill in.
Do you find that it's painful?
No, and in fact, patients don't complain that it's painful at all. The only thing they complain about is the bad taste in their mouth afterwards. So that's it. If you can handle a bad taste, then the procedure is awesome.
But the headaches go away, and you'll work with patients when it comes to health insurance. We have even more information that is linked to Dr. Sean. If you want to make an appointment, if you have questions for his team at Cornerstone Integrated Healthcare, you can call the number on your screen, which is 913-492-2225. Also, go online to cornerstoneintegratedhealthcare.com. Thank you, Dr. Sean.
My pleasure. Thanks.